This is Logical MGTOW. Logical MGTOW Spock right here. Um, I've been thinking about something here, and it's mm, it's come to my attention that it needs to be rectified. Something needs to be rectified and taken care of, to where the instability within the MGTOW manosphere does not happen. Because when there's instability within the MGTOW manosphere, then there's confusion, there's uncertainty, there's all sorts of shit. And with that, there's also MGTOW roasting MGTOW at times with no provocation, and even with the negative assumption as well. Now, of course, the negative assumption of thinking that they're roasting, one MGTOW member is roasting you when they're not, even if you have not so long ago declared to be MGTOW. The one thing is, is with that, there's been a lot of, shall we say, what my friend and brother, MGTOW brother, Mr. Hey Vicious, has mentioned in one of his videos, known as the Hot Kitchen. And when there's instability within the MGTOW manosphere, aka again Hot Kitchen, the feminist witches, the skanks of the century in the feminist movement and the Me Too movement, and the male MGTOW haters, even the ones that consider them slayers, even though they're insignificant little human beings, to say the least. That when they see an instability and one being start with one MGTOW going after another in the sense of attacking the other or any other aspect to it, right? That's a green light to them, to the male MGTOW haters and to the feminist little witch bitch sluts, even the ones that claim to be part of the Me Too movement and the feminist movement. So there has to be a set, rules set into the MGTOW manosphere. One of which that has been causing more than confusion, more than uncertainty, and more than unsureness of what of who's real and who's not. Start. This has not become a problem till not too long ago. Actually, I've been trying to figure out for a while, for some time, even while making content, what can be done. And while I've been trying to figure this out, there's been one person by the name of Alec Fleming claiming to be MGTOW, and at least one of our MGTOW monks have got, essentially gave notice, and he gave some positive pointers to Alec Fleming. Then, after not too long ago, after such, make the so-called MGTOW member Alec Fleming pulled out of MGTOW and tried to use the MGTOW acronym, but in a scrambled up lettering aspect, right? And then he said to me, logical MGTOW Spock, that he's glad he's not MGTOW anymore. Alec Fleming said that that Alec Fleming is glad that he's not MGTOW anymore. Thereby, um, he's been trying to act like he's using MGTOW philosophy when he's not. He's been using his own philosophy, and also I just saw a video this morning on the 29th of September 2019 that Alec Fleming made a video. If you feel like the end it all, maybe it's a good idea type of thing. That basically helps the feminist movement now, doesn't it? And if Alec Fleming is watching this video, he knows he's in the wrong. Thereby, he has sinned spiritually. I don't care if you're an atheist or not. You still sin. You are still Heavenly Father's child, even if you declare to be an atheist. You are still Heavenly Father's child, regardless, even if you don't go to church as much or hardly at all, to never. Thereby, you still sin. And that adds on to your other sinful actions and sayings and judgments and such like that, and assumptions especially. And then recently, I MGTOW Spot have found out through the roast of the MGTOW male hater known as McHenry. He roasted Brandon King. Brandon King thereby automatically declared to be MGTOW without even making it official by even letting the rest of the MGTOW Manosphere know that he wants to be a MGTOW and he's declaring himself as a MGTOW. And this has been happening a lot now. It should stop. Thereby, if any person wants to be a MGTOW member, the rules should start with the fact that if you put the acronym of MGTOW along with the title of your video on your content, then as you um, as you do that, say it's your first video, first or second video, right? Then let it be known that you are MGTOW, and if you want to give yourself a nickname while being MGTOW. The basic fact is that once you declare it to those like myself, Mr. Hate Vicious, and Mike the MGTOW monk, and also James Von Maxwell, MGTOW hamster, um, and also Darius, the MGTOW brother. Just at least to start with, right? Then there's no confusion, there's no roasting, there's no um, negative assumptions of one MGTOW roasting another or attacking the other when they're really not, when they're trying to be helpful. In caption here, I was trying to help Brandon King. I was not roasting him. He took it as such. Now he, and then like what was it like? Not too not too late, but late enough last night. He declared no longer to be MGTOW, and he tried to blame me for it. Yet he thought I was roasting him. I wasn't roasting him. Brendan King thought I was roasting him. I wasn't roasting him. Brendan King thereby tried to essentially roast me. He lit the first match, metaphorically. I was being kind and helpful to him. He took it in the negative assumption as a roast when I wasn't roasting. Thereby, he again, like I said, he lit the first match in trying to roast me. He later found out that was the biggest fucking mistake he's made. When a person such as myself addresses a new MGTOW, that new MGTOW needs to learn. Look at the fucking acronym and listen to the fucking video very closely. And if he is roasting you in thinking that you're a phony, talk with him. Let him know that you are not a phony. Because we've had many people who claim to be MGTOW, even feminist little witches claim to be MGTOW when they're really not. Because yet when the feminist witches try to claim to be MGTOW, they're doing it for the single mothers and whatnot. And we've dealt with that once before as well. And we don't want to go through that again, but we are ready for it. So thereby, last night, after his declare of after Brendan King's declare of no longer being MGTOW, I essentially addressed him on his no longer being MGTOW aspect of an apology to McHenry from Brendan King. I told Brendan King straight up that the simple fact was and is that I did not force him or say that he could not be MGTOW. Thereby, I didn't say he had to take down the acronym. And thereby, also, I said for him that he needs to quit assuming the negative, even about me. And I asked him nicely to take down my advocate acronym. He he thereby took it as a roast, an attack, when I wasn't doing. Thereby, he took it as a negative assumption. He used a negative assumption of thinking that I'm attacking him when I'm not, to put it clearly. And thereby, I explained the whole thing to him. And I said to him, if he wants to be MGTOW, when he's ready, fully ready, he's welcome. But the one thing is, now he's saying that he doesn't want to be part of a community that goes against their own. And yet I had to comment by stating we do not go against our own. We go against those who are fakers, phonies, essentially. Essentially, ones that thereby, and if you want to be a MGTOW, you need to fucking let the people know, let the other MGTOW manosphere know that you declared yourself as MGTOW. That way, there's no confusion, no question, no assumption, no nothing, no nothing negative, right? You could say that he doesn't want to be MGTOW ever again. But I already mentioned that he could be when he's fully ready. Although what the one thing is, I know he was trying his best when he mentioned feminism, when Brandon mentioned feminism, and but the one thing he did wrong, he did not he did not um acclimate it correctly when it came to feminism. Though granted, I know he was doing his best. I'm not against him on that at all. But I know one thing: when you roast a MGTOW hater, even a feminist little witch, you don't associate as if the MGTOW hater, be male or female, has the hots for another MGTOW member, and you even if you use their name within the MGTOW manosphere, that's a big no no. Brandon King did that very thing when he was roasting essentially McHenry, Cruiser, the so-called MGTOW Slayer. Um, he referenced as if McHenry was a homosexual gay fuck, and that he had the hots for Mr. Hate Vicious, one of our MGTOW members and brothers, which basically also goes to the association and the assumption that maybe Mr. Hate Vicious is homosexual gay, and he's not. I know Mr. Hate Vicious, and I know many other MGTOW members. They're not homosexual, they're not gay. I'm straight myself. I am 100% fucking straight. I was married to a woman many years ago and divorced her in 2010, 2011, and I'm happily single, straight MGTOW member. That it was the big flop and mistake that Brandon King did, associating Mr. Hate Vicious, MGTOW brother, a MGTOW brother of mine, and many other MGTOW members within the MGTOW manosphere, as as if Mr. Hate Vicious was gay in the association with McHenry being also homosexual, aka gay. Now, if Brandon is watching this, I'm being honest. There's no attack being done, no nothing negative. I'm just stating a fact and truth and honesty. You do not associate a MGTOW member when it comes to any what Brandon called anti-MGTOW, or again what we call MGTOW haters, such as McHenry or anybody else for that matter, both male and female, in any referendum or reference essentially. Doesn't matter. And also, the other mistake was that Brandon did, and this is not attack against him, just to let you guys know, is that Brandon had the also assumption within the same roast video of McHenry and towards McHenry that if you're MGTOW, you must be gay. Then he tried to cover. Then he tried to clear it up by saying that we're not. But yet, yes, we're not. We're not gay. But the basic fact is that he used the referendum in order to be MGTOW in response to McHenry that we had to be gay. So therefore, just because McHenry was like this, sniffing his own fucking two fingers, according to Brandon King, that he must have shoved it up his ass, thereby reference again gay towards McHenry. Big mistake, Brandon. The one thing we MGTOW do always know, we always think about what we're going to say and how we're going to say it. And when we do make content, video content, then we do say it. Obviously, from my estimation, and this is no judgment, that Brandon King didn't take the time to think about the way he was going to say it and how he was going to address it. He just went ahead and done it. Now, again, this is not an attack towards Brandon King at all. I'm just stating facts, stating the truth, and honesty. Thereby, like I said, there should be a rule. Or, like I said earlier, there should be a rule. You need to make yourself known if you are if you're a new MGTOW member and you are declaring yourself to be MGTOW, you got to let myself, Mr. Hey Vicious, and McHenry. I mean, not McHenry, but you had to let myself, Mr. A. Vicious, and Maxwell, essentially. James Von Maxwell, MGTOW Hamster. And also, the other person I'd say, Darius, know that you are declaring to be MGTOW. That way, there's no confusion. We can also inform the other MGTOW members in our one of our next video contents of mention of the new declared new MGTOW member. Thereby, we can also welcome the new MGTOW member in the same video content the next ones that we do. That way, there's no roasting, there's no confusion, there's no assumption of attacks against each other, even against the new MGTOW members, from one of the original MGTOW members or anything like that. No negative assumption, judgments, or nothing like that. Thereby, there's no instability on that aspect to start. I don't know if my fellow MGTOW brother and friend will agree with me, being of course Mr. Hey Vicious, and I'm thinking once he listens to this video, I'm hoping that he will. But once he does, then we can pass it on to the other one, the other MGTOW members. And those who are new MGTOW members hopefully will take more than heed and pay attention to the basic rules. And yes, I'm sure that Mr. Hey Vicious will make additions to the rules. be that even if he thinks it's a good idea. Which I'm not gonna speak for him, but I'm just saying if he does, cool. If he doesn't, then we as MGTOW members can talk about it. Thereby, also, we need to stay alert. The election is not that far away. This is 2019. We're heading towards 2020, and we're heading towards the election in November. It's only a month. It's only like a month away after this month is over with, which is fairly quick. Then, of course, we'll be landing on October. Then the month after that, there's gonna be some shit happening. Myself, as well as Mr. Hate Vicious, knows this. We need to make sure that the other MGTOW members know this. If you have any questions to this video, or even about this video, please let me know, and I will be more than happy to talk with you. And if you want to join the Logical MGTOW page, you're more than welcome on Facebook. But do know we need to have positive emotions, positive vocal aspects, no attacks, no nothing. No nothing negative, that is. This is Logical MGTOW Spot. Live long and prosper, and please stay safe, and do not give in to the feminist bullshit. Stay strong, stay MGTOW, MGTOW for life.